Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. So this video is my final completion of Hotel Modok. It is the first pass of the final chapter. Now at this point I have already fully explored chapters 1, 2, and 3. I went against that Ice Phoenix until I was sick of her. But we got that done, and this is my first time facing this Taskmaster and Modok. So this first fight is with Ghost Rider, and yes, I definitely love my Ghost Rider. I did not, know his power until I teamed him up with Blade, and it was all I could do not to take him and just use him to clear everything. I wanted to give everybody a chance. But I want you guys to see this fight. Look at his health. I mean, Ghost Rider is just amazing. Look at what he finished this fight with. And this is a 550 Ghost Rider. I don't have any 5 stars in this quest. All of my team is made up of 550s. And just look at how powerful he was. So we come up here against Hulk, and I bring in Blade because I know Blade is definitely an awesome champion. And I was doing pretty well until I got a little cocky and careless, and Hulk was down a little bit, and he sure woke me up. Now you see here, I'm trying to bait out his special. And I know he's coming,
Look out.
And I dodge back just a little bit too early, and he catches me. I'm actually fortunate that he did not take me out completely or stun me, because then I would have just been wrecked. But I survived it, got lucky, and I was able to pull it out in the end.
Fatality.
Alright, this next fight is Hawkeye, and I bring in Archangel for no other reason than I haven't used Archangel yet. Archangel is a beast, and you guys will see just how much of a beast he is. I still made a mistake, and I got tagged, and see right here, he just stopped blocking. I'm not even sure why he stopped blocking. But once the computer does whatever it's going to do, whether it glitches or what have you, it seems to settle down, and those little glitches don't happen after it's gotten you really good. I don't know, it might just be me, but when you're doing really well, all of a sudden it glitches and then it corrects itself. But after that little bit, not a problem whatsoever, at least not in that fight. Alright, so next up is Civil Warrior, and I went back to Ghost Rider, and you guys are just gonna see Ghost Rider is just the man. Civil Warrior is not that hard to fight. You basically want to bait out his L1 or his L2. Either one of them is just fine. And see here, I have no problem baiting out his L2. Very easy to dodge. And Ghost Rider, with his curses and his ability to heal up, I could easily have finished this fight also with full health. And see, I took a little risk there because I wasn't sure if he was gonna instantly get his L3. I'm not sure if they would even do that. Sometimes they will, because they do have their third attack activated, and I did not want to risk it, but I gambled and it paid off that time. But for the rest of the fight, I pretty much bait out his specials, L1 or L2, it did not really matter. I throw my specials, I try to hit him with the L2 as often as possible, just to keep his power meter down a little bit, for no reason really. I could have just let him get his power meters up just like I did here, and bait out his special 2. But as I've said, Ghost Rider is definitely a beast.
Headshot.
Alright, so this next fight is against Hyperion, and I apologize in advance. This fight is a pretty decent length fight, but I chose Iceman, and you will see why I chose Iceman. But you're gonna see how to fight Hyperion. Now, what you want to do is you want to bait out his specials, but sometimes he is very stingy with them. So like right there, I was able to bait out his special 1. But now look at this. See how he's acting right here? I already knew what was coming. He was going to hit his L3. He was not going to throw any of his specials, but that's why I chose Iceman. Look at that. I don't care if he fires off his special 3 at all. Now, right now, the ice armor is down, so I'm going to be taking more damage. So I'm trying to bait out his specials and not trying to push him to his L3 before my ice armor reforms. So now it's reformed. But I'm not throwing my specials yet because I have a plan. My plan is to go all the way to my L3 and just hold it. Because one of the things that your L3 does is it instantly reforms your ice armor. So I wanted to hold it in reserve. So if he acts like he was doing before and he hits his special 3 and my ice armor is down, and for some reason he does it again and he's about to hit his special 3 before my ice armor reforms, I can fire off my L3 to get my ice armor and take his L3. But that's my basic strategy. You can see he's being very generous with his specials. That's what we like to see. When he does that, everything is okay. It's when he starts folding them arms and playing very defensively that the problems arise. Now, if I was fighting with somebody else, I'd already be very hurt right now. That first L3 that I took, there's no telling how much damage that would have done to another champion. Alright, but Iceman can take a lot of damage, and that's why I chose him. I believe I took, 2 more L3s in this match. Should be another L3 coming up shortly, when he just all of a sudden decided to be very defensive. Yeah, we're seeing it right here. He's not going to throw that special. But my ice armor was reformed, so I didn't really care, beyond having to sit here through that animation. So at this point, the only thing that I'm concerned with is him gaining an L3 before my ice armor reformed. But once he threw his specials, I knew that I was good. And I could have thrown my L3 at this point, but I did not want to risk it. Yep, see, here you go, another L3. So I just went all in because I was like, may as well. But took another L3. I'm telling you, Iceman is the man. Imagine trying to do this with any of the others. Now, if you have a power control champion, then that would be good. If I had my magic in here, then once I got to, I may have had to take 1 L3 with magic, but once I got him power locked, then it would be all over for him. But since I didn't have a power control champ, I used Iceman for his ice armor. So this fight is pretty much done, and hopefully you guys will see the power of Iceman, as well as how to fight Hyperion if you do not have a power control champion. Alright, so now we're coming to the final stretch. All we have is Taskmaster, and then we fight Modok. Now, if you guys have seen my previous video, that was my first experience outside of Arena with Taskmaster. And I already fully explored that, so I faced Taskmaster quite often. And so by now, I'm pretty familiar with his animations. So I'm not the noob that I was in the last video, but I still have quite a bit to learn. But I got a lot of practice in the last chapter. So I had checked the nose just to see, make sure there was nothing crazy, nothing different from the last time. Brought in Spider-Man Stark Enhanced because Spider-Man Stark Enhanced is a beast. And really, to fight Taskmaster, what I found was that if I could get him to his L2, I could dodge that all day long. I'd much rather push him to his L2 than to deal with his L1. But if I have to deal with his L1, I wanted to have Spider-Man Stark Enhanced because just like you saw there, he can evade those. So I can be a little lazy and not have to try to evade that myself. Now you saw there I kind of mistimed that and he made me pay, but that's okay because I'm trying to set him up to hit him with that L2. So got a few more poise charges there, and right now all I'm trying to do is get my opening in there. That was a little risky, but I was able to stun him, and then boom. Godlike. And down goes Taskmaster. Now watch my other video and see how I did against Taskmaster the first time. I used a couple of revives, but towards the end of my exploration of that chapter, no revives did I use. And as you can see here, was able to one-shot him. So now we're fighting Modok. Now I've fought Modok before in Master Mode, which I also fully explored. So my plan here was just to get in there with each of these guys. I was not expecting to take him down, so it's going pretty much as I expected. They're sacrifices, to be honest with you. You know, even Iceman, sacrifice. I did expect him to do a little bit better than that. I pretty much ran smack into his fists. I'm not even sure why the parry didn't work or anything like that, but you know, we got a little bit better, and just trying to do as much damage before he takes me out, because I already know who I'm going to take him out with, which is Archangel. You know, I heard that Archangel was the best for fighting him, and in Master Mode that was definitely true. So Archangel was going to be the last person that I fought him with. So just trying to get the others out of the way. You know, Ghost Rider, beastly as he is, I was concerned because to place a couple of his judgments, I have to be able to finish the 5-hit combo with, you know, a medium or a light. But against Modok, you don't really want to finish your combos. That's a good way to get wrecked. So I already knew that I was at a disadvantage here. So I'm just trying to do as much damage as I could. That block really just wrecks me. Humiliating defeat. And I'm not even sure why it didn't evade at that point in time, but as I said, this was going according to plan. I'm just trying to get as much damage in and to warm up. Now Blade, I purposely had him towards the end because I expected him to do a lot better. And you can see he's putting in some work, but then boom, just got caught with the L1. Blade should have done a whole lot better in that instance, but that was my fault. So finally, the main event, and we're going in with Archangel, and Archangel lived up to the hype, lived up to everything that I had heard about him. And again, I already knew that because I had fought Modok in Master Mode. You can see here, Archangel is just ripping him up. And in fact, he did such a good job, I started getting cocky. Yes, I did get cocky towards the end. And, well, you guys will see where that got me. But the basic strategy is to bait out that L1 like that, dodge it, try to get that parry, and once you have the parry, do your heavy. That's pretty much it. Now, right there, I was supposed to do my heavy, but sometimes, especially with Archangel, when I try to do the heavy, he jumps backwards. I don't know why. He does a dash back. But it's whatever. And there you go. I baited it out again. And I said, you know what? I need to hit him with that L3 because my health is getting really low here. And I was hoping that this would, if not kill him, get really close so that my neurotoxins or whatever would finish him off. And I knew he was going to be stunned, so I got in a few more heavies. And now I'm like, yeah, I got him. And I pushed him to his L3. I got too cocky, gambled, and got wrecked. He would have died to just the neurotoxins and the poisons. But I went all in, hoping to finish him quick. So that was my fault. But at this time, it's pretty much a done deal. This is the first and only revive that I used for this entire run. That is very different from the previous quest where I had to face Ice Phoenix. I ended up using, sometimes I used 2 revives, sometimes I did use 1. The most I think I've used was, 4 or 5. But this was way easier, and I already knew that I was going to finish him off pretty easily. Alright, so that's going to do it, guys. If you liked the video, if you found it educational, please smash that like button. If you have not subscribed to me already, please consider giving me a subscription. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about this video. And you guys have a blessed day.